Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry you guys had to wait a bit today. Anyways, let's quickly begin with your doubts. We are doing AS 11, so please quickly post your doubts on the chat box. Post your doubts on the chat box. We last did a question on forward contracts. So quickly post your doubts on the chat box. Okay, since there are no doubts, let's continue with questions on forward contract. We already did one question. Let's go to another one now. We have done question number 4. Okay, let's question number 5A. Question number 5A is also something we have already done. Question number 7. Let's do question number 7. Solve question number 7. Question 7. Question 7, which is given to you. On page number 72. Page number 72, question number 7. Question number 7, page number 72. I'm reading the question. Please pay attention since this is only the second question of forward contracts. What I recommend is, let me solve it first. You understand the concept carefully, and then I'll give you sufficient time to copy. It says STEM Limited purchased a plant for US dollars 30,000 on 30th November 2013, which is payable after 6 months. So quickly on the chat box, if your purchase is on 30th November and you are supposed to pay after 6 months, what is the due date of payment? On the chat box, what is your due date of payment? What is your due date of payment? Okay, you get 31st May. Perfect. Between your two dates, which is 30th November and 31st May, between your two dates, which is 30th November and 31st May, is there any important date that does fall between these two? Yes, of course, you have 31st March. Okay, let's understand what happens. The company entered into a forward contract for 6 months at 62.15 per dollar. On 30th November, the exchange rate was 60.75. How will you recognize the profit or loss on forward contract in the books of STEM Limited for the year ended 31st March 2015? Okay, let's try and solve this question. What's your forward contract rate in the question? Quickly on the chat box. What's your forward rate in the question? $62.15. So let's put over here 62.15. Against that, look at the question. What's your spot rate? What is your spot rate? 60.75. So you get 60.75. Again, look at the question. Did you purchase or did you sell? Did you purchase or sell? Did you purchase or sell? Of course, you purchased. Now, when you purchase, will you pay or receive? When you purchase, will you pay or receive? Of course, you will pay. Now, you will think in this way that you could have paid at 60.75, but now you have to pay at 62.50. Again, you could have paid at 60.75, but now you will have to pay at 62.15. Tell me, will you pay more or will you pay less? Will you pay more or less? More. How much more? You will pay how much more? 1.4. Tell me, gain or loss? On your chat box, everyone, gain or loss? Loss per dollar is 1.4. Can you also look at the question and tell me what's your forward contract amount? What's your forward contract amount? 30,000. So 30,000 is your forward contract amount. Let's calculate what will be your total loss. 30,000 into 1.4. 42,000 is your total loss. You get 42,000 as your total loss. Is 42,000 for 1 month or for 6 months? This 42,000 ka loss is over a period of 1 month or 6 months. Of course, it is for 6 months. How many months fall in the current financial year? How many months fall in the current financial year? Your current financial year is 31st March 2014. So up to 31st March 2014 is for the financial year 2013-14. Is how much? 4 months. So your loss will be recognized in this way. You will think in this way that 42,000 loss is for 6 months. how much for 4 months? So you have 42,000 into 4 divide by 6. You get 28,000. So 28,000. 42,000 into 4 divide by 6. How much loss will be recognized in the current year, 31st March 2014? It comes to 28,000. Okay, how much loss will be carried forward in the next financial year, that is 31st March 2015? How much loss will go in the next financial year? You get 14,000. 42,000 minus 28,000. Right, quickly on the chat box. Are you all clear with this? Are you all clear with this? If you're thoroughly clear with this, if you have no doubts, please take this down properly. Do prepare proper formats. Take it down properly. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Once you're done, please put it on the chat box that you're done. If you have any doubts, please ask me. I'll solve it for you. Okay, if you're done with this, let's go to question 11. Okay, let's go to question number 11. If you're done with this, let's come to question number 11. Question 11. Okay, now question 11 is again a question that we have already done and already understood. So let's have someone from you solve question number 11. Can we have Mukaddisha help us solve this question? Mukaddisha, can you please solve this question for us? Okay, here you go.
Yes, sir.
First, please read the question.
I will read.
Yes, please.
Okay. Rao Limited purchased a plant for US dollar 1 lakh on 1st February 2012, payable after 3 months. Company entered into a forward contract for 3 months at rupees 49.15 per dollar. Exchange rate per dollar on 1st Feb was rupees 48.85. How will you recognize the profit or loss on forward contract in the books of Rao Limited?
Okay, first you ask yourself a question. What is the date of the contract?
1st February 2012.
Tenure of the contract?
Tenure 3 months.
When will the 3 months expire?
February, March, April. June 1st.
February, March, April. April के बाद आता है May.
May. Sorry.
Okay.
May.
Go ahead, solving the question.
First, we have as per AS 11, the effects of changes in the foreign exchange rates.
Okay, we are doing
Then
on page number 75. The first statement will be as per AS 11, the effect of change in foreign exchange rates. Recognition of profit or loss on forward exchange rates. Go ahead.
particulars amount. First, we will write forward contract rate,
Which is
49.15.
okay.
No, 48.85. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Yes, 48.85.
Read the question again.
Exchange rate per dollar on 1st February was 48.85. Sorry.
What have I asked you?
48.85 is spot rate and 49.15 is exchange rate.
Okay,
Forward
so what
contract
should I
rate.
put as my forward contract rate?
49.15.
Are you sure?
Yes, now sure.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, then?
Spot rate. Okay. Then spot rate.
What is the meaning of spot rate?
The rate that is prevailing on the existing transaction.
Rate that prevails on the date of transaction.
Okay, date of transaction.
What is the date of transaction in this question?
1st February.
So what's your rate on 1st February?
48.85.
So what will be your spot rate?
48.85.
Okay. Did you purchase or sell?
Purchase.
Purchase. So will you pay or receive money?
Pay.
Okay. How will you identify whether it is profit or loss?
स्पॉट रेट इज 48.85. अगर मैंने उसी दिन पे कर दिया था तो 48.85, पर फॉरवर्ड रेट पे अपन ये ट्रांजेक्शन होने वाला है, इसीलिए हमको 49.15 पे करना पड़ेगा, तो 0.30 हमारा लॉस है.
Okay, you could have paid at 48.85, but now you will have to pay at 49.15. So what's your gain or loss?
Loss 0.30.
0.30. Okay. What's your forward contract amount?
$1 lakh.
1 lakh. Okay. Total loss.
1 lakh into 0.30, 30,000.
Okay. You get how much? 30,000. What's your duration of the contract?
3 months.
3 months. आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट शुरू कब हुआ था?
February, 1st February.
1 फरवरी. खत्म कब होगा?
1st May.
1 मई. दोनों के बीच में कोई इंपॉर्टेंट डेट आ रही है?
31st March.
31st March. Okay, very good. How much duration from 1st February to 31st March?
2 months.
2 months. So
Yes.
period up to 31st March 2000 and we're talking about 2012. So 31st
Yes.
March 2012 is how much? 2 months.
Yes, 2 months. Now
Okay.
30,000.
Now how do you think from here?
Loss we will recognize up to 2 months only,
Okay, why up to 2 months?
because duration is 3 months, but we have to recognize loss up to 2 months only because it prevails to that particular year, 2012-13, 11-12,
Pertains
sorry.
to the current financial year. Okay, how will you think in this way? In this question?
30,000 for 3 months.
Okay,
So 2 months के लिए कितना?
what do you get?
20,000.
You get 20,000, which is 30,000 into 2, and you will divide that by 3. Okay, what about the next thing that you have to put?
Balance that is remaining in the loss is 10,000. That is for the next year,
How do you get
13-14.
10,000?
Sorry,
How do you get 10,000?
30,000 minus 20,000.
20,000 will be debited in which financial year?
13-14.
13-14. Current year is 11-12.
12-13. 12-13.
So 31st March 2013.
13.
Okay. Have I made any mistake in the solution? If you could quickly look at the solution on your screen and tell me. आपको लगता है मैंने कहीं एक गलती की है?
Yes. 30,000 minus 22,000 आपने लिखा है यहाँ पे.
Okay, उसके
Balance
अलावा?
loss. Then 49.15 is correct. 48.85. 48.85. 0.30. Only 3 months. 20,000. No. It is perfect, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes.
One more chance. What about this? Loss to be recognized. Is this statement correct?
Sorry. Loss to be recognized for the year ended 31st 3, 2012.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, Mukaddish.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Are you all clear with this? Be careful. Avoid silly mistakes. Otherwise, you will end up losing marks. Understand the question carefully. What is the forward rate? What is the spot rate? Then ask yourself, did you buy or did you sell? If you are buying, of course, you have to pay. Are you paying more? It's a loss. If you're paying less, it's a gain for you. Right, I hope you all are clear with this. If yes, please take it down properly. Take this solution properly. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Don't simply copy. Ask me and I'll explain to you the entire concept once again. But please do not copy. Take it down properly. Once you're done, please put on the chat box that you're done. And then we proceed to the next part. Okay, are you all clear with this? Quickly on your chat box, are you all absolutely clear with this? Akshay, Aman, Anjali, Aksa, Bhavin, Dipesh, Dhaval, Digesh, Harshit, Harshita, Het, Ishika, Ishita, Jalpan, Khushi, Manav, Mukaddisha, Nidhi, Nikita, Om, Pawan, Pushti, Raghav, Raj, Rizwan, Rohan, Shifa, Shreya, Simran, Spruha, Shrushti, Tulsi, Yash, and Zaid. Are you all clear with this? Okay. Now, before I go to the next concept, and in the next concept that we are going to do, and in the concept that we have already done, there's a very thin line difference. So, let's first understand what we already did so that we can clearly understand what we are going to do. Now, my question to you is, we did a concept known as forward contract. Why do we usually do a forward contract? I explained this to you. Now, my question to you is, in one sentence, why do we enter into a forward contract? Why do we enter into a forward contract? We did this first when we began with this concept. Of course, you do it for hedging, you do it to mitigate the loss, you do it to reduce the loss. Right? So it is a tool which helps you to reduce the loss that you're going to have due to foreign exchange rates change. Now, sometimes what happens, people also use forward contracts for speculation. They use it for speculation. For example, I know that today the rate of dollar is 60 and I believe that the rate of dollar will become 65. So I enter into a forward contract with the bank at 63. Today I buy the dollar at 60 and then I sell it at 63, which to me is a gain of rupees 3 per dollar. Are you understanding? I will understand that the rate today is 60. I know that the rate is going to increase, so I enter into a forward contract. I tell the bank that let's enter into a forward contract. Bank gives me forward contract rate to be 63 rupees. Now I will buy at 60, sell at 63. I will ultimately have a gain of rupees 3 per dollar. Now this is known as entering into a forward contract for speculation. I am not, please understand, I am not mitigating my loss. I am not doing any kind of hedging. In fact, I have not purchased the forward contract to cover up for the loss that may happen to me. I have entered into a forward contract only for speculation. Now, because I have entered into a forward contract only for speculation, the treatment will change a little bit compared to what we have seen till now. Are you getting it? Quickly on the chat box. Are you clear with this? Do you have any doubts? Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this concept? If yes, then we go ahead. If you're clear with this, come to question number 6. That will completely help you understand the entire concept of speculation from forward contracts. Question number 6. Let's look at question number 6. I think all your doubts and your concepts will get cleared when we do question number 6. ध्यान देना, कब ये स्पेक्यूलेशन है और कब ये हेजिंग है, वो कहां से पता चलेगा, उस बात का आप ध्यान देना. The question says Mr. Y bought a forward contract. Now, if you look at the other questions, for example, if you look at question number 7, It says STEM Limited purchased a plant, and for this plant the company entered into a forward contract. जब ये दोनों स्टेटमेंट है कि हमने तो असेट खरीदा और असेट की परचेज को सेव करने के लिए या असेट से होने वाले लॉस को सेव करने के लिए या कवर करने के लिए हमने फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंटर किया, देन इट इज नोन एज हेजिंग. However, in the given question, they have directly told you that we have bought a forward contract. So this will tell you, this statement will tell you that we are doing a transaction of speculation. We are not doing hedging transaction. We are entering into a transaction for speculation. So Mr. Y has bought a contract for 3 months at of rupees 2 lakh dollars on 1st December 2010, when the rate was 44.10 and the exchange rate was 43.9. On 31st December 2010, when he closed his books, the exchange rate was 44.2. 31st March का रेट कितना है? 44.2. On 31st January, he decided to sell the contract at 44.3. करना क्या है क्वेश्चन में? Show how the profit from the contract will be recognized in the books of Mr. Y. Now, two important things you need to understand when you solve a question of speculation. First, never consider 31st March. Only consider the spot rate and the sale rate, which means you will consider कितने में बेचा और कितने में हमने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया था. ये दोनों का डिफरेंस will give you either profit or loss. Second important point, because we are not considering 31st March, do not split your profits into two parts. Up to 31st March current year, after 31st March next year. ये अब स्पेक्यूलेशन में हमें नहीं करना है. हम ये कब करेंगे? जब हेजिंग हो रहा हो तभी करेंगे, क्योंकि हेजिंग इज फॉर योर परचेज ऑफ एनी एसेट, एंड परचेज ऑफ एनी एसेट विल हैव एन अक्रूवल कंसेप्ट इफेक्ट. अक्रूवल कंसेप्ट इफेक्ट मींस जितना इस साल में फॉल होता है उतना इसी साल में जाएगा, जितना नेक्स्ट ईयर में फॉल होता है वो नेक्स्ट ईयर में जाएगा. However, in speculation there is no accrual concept. You have entered into a transaction only for a short term purpose to take advantage of the changes in foreign exchange rates. In order to take advantage of changes in foreign exchange rates, you enter into a speculation transaction which has no accrual concept. So entire gain or loss will be recognized in one go. Right, now see how do I solve this question. I will first put my first statement, which is as per AS 11, effect of changes in foreign exchange rates. We are doing question number 6, which is given to you on page number 72. What do we have to do? Recognition of profit or loss on forward exchange contract. Okay. Let me solve this question. Please pay attention and understand. I'll then give you time to copy. But as of now, understand the question. In fact, help me solve this question. My first question to you is, what is the rate at which we sold the forward exchange, the forward contract? What is the rate at which we sold the forward contract? You sold at? Akshay, what is the rate at which you sold? Akshay, please check your answer. What is the rate at which you sold? You sold at 44.3. What is the rate at which you will now do the dealing? You will now do the dealing at the forward contract rate. So what's your forward contract rate in the question? Look at the question and tell me, what is your forward contract rate? 44.1. So you will buy at 44.1. Okay, quickly on the chat box. Please understand. I buy at 44.1. I sell at 44.3. Tell me, gain or loss? My first question to you is it gain or loss? Everyone agrees it is gain. So this time we have profit. What's your profit? How much is your profit? 0.20. So 0.20 is your profit. This is how exactly you will think. I purchased at 44.1. I am selling at 44.3. So I have a gain of 0.2. What's your contract rate in the, what's your contract amount? What's your contract amount in the question? 2 lakh US dollars? Tell me, total profit will be. Total profit will be 2 lakhs into 0.20, 40,000. This entire total gain of 40,000 will go to the profit and loss account. Are you clear with this? Please remember the method is the same. Only thing that you have to think is कितने में मैंने बेचा और कितने में मैंने खरीदा था. And entire gain or loss will straight away go to the profit and loss account. It will not be divided between 31st March. Quickly on the chat box. Are you clear with this? Okay, I have one doubt which says, why would bank pay us 44.1 as the contract was for 44.3? Now, Sprua, first let's understand the question. The contract rate was not 44.3. We decided to sell at 44.3. The contract rate was 44.1. So Sprua, I am just repeating your doubt. Please tell me whether I have understood your question correctly or not. Your question is, why will the bank pay us 44.1 when the market rate is 44.3? Is that your question? If not, then please post your doubts so that I can explain to you. In the meantime, I have other doubts. Let me solve that as well. So there is one doubt which says, what is the difference between hedging transaction and speculation transaction? Okay, Akshay, so hedging means that when you buy something from outside India and you have not yet paid, it's a credit transaction. So you will pay later. Now, when you pay later, you are afraid. When you pay later, you are afraid that the rate will increase and you will have to pay more. So you go to the bank and you fix a rate कि सर इतना रेट हमारा तय हो गया, रेट कितना भी हो आप हमको इतने रेट पे डील करवा के दोगे. This is known as a hedging transaction. This is known as what? A hedging transaction. Why did you enter into it? To save yourself from losses. Point number one. Akshay, are you clear with the meaning of hedging? Okay. Second point. In a speculation transaction, you feel कि आज डॉलर का रेट 70 है, कल जाके ये रेट 75 हो जाएगा, तो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, आज डॉलर 70 में खरीदता हूँ, कल जब बेचूंगा तो 75 में बेचूंगा, और जब भी 75 में बेचूंगा मुझे फायदा होगा. नाउ प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, अक्षय ऑन द चैट बॉक्स, जब आप क्रेडिटर से गुड्स खरीदते हो तो क्या ये श्योर है आपको पे करना है, यस और नो? एंड एवरीवन प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस. Yes, you are absolutely sure that you have to pay for that transaction. Okay, second important point. When you feel that the rate will increase, are you also sure that you will have to pay at a higher rate? Yes, because you are sure that the rate will increase and it may increase to any extent. In that case, you enter into a forward contract to restrict your loss. मतलब 70 का डॉलर का प्राइस 100 भी हो सकता है, लेकिन आपने बैंक के साथ 75 तय कर लिया, मतलब 75 में आपको पे करना है, आपका लॉस 5 रुपए पर डॉलर पे रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो गया. अगर ये फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होता तो 100 रुपीज होता तो लॉस 30 होता, 110 रुपए होता तो 40 होता, 80 रुपए होता तो 10 रुपए का लॉस होता. which means which clearly means that you have no limits on your loss. But when you enter into a forward contract, in that case you know the maximum limit to which the loss is restricted, right? Now on the other hand, if I enter into a speculation transaction, मैं बैंक को कहता हूँ आप मुझे क्या रेट दोगे, बैंक कहता है 70 rupees. Bank tells me that I will give you the rate of 70 rupees. Now, I don't know whether the rate will increase or it will reduce. It may increase, it may reduce. Now, I am not sure. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a bet. Right? When I'm taking a chance, I'm taking a bet. I'm not sure. This rate can go anywhere. It can increase, it can reduce, it can go anywhere. Now, this kind of a transaction where there is no certainty and you're not sure what is the exact loss that will be there, what is the exact gain that will be there, this kind of a transaction is known as a speculation transaction. Is this absolutely clear to you, Akshay? Quickly on the chat box. Okay, perfect. Let's go to another doubt. So this is done. Now let's come back to Sprua's doubt. It says, my question is that if bank has fixed a rate of 44.1, then how will we get 44.3? Okay, Sprua, I have a question to you. My question to you is that suppose you buy a pen. You are a stationery shop owner and you buy a pen from a purchaser or from a manufacturer, right? Manufacturer will give it to you, say for example at 15 rupees, and the MRP printed on it is rupees 20. Are you getting it? You are who? You are who? You are a retailer, a dealer, a shopkeeper. You purchase stationery from a manufacturer at 15 rupees and the MRP printed on it is 20 rupees. Tell me on the chat box, gain or loss? Gain? Okay. Is it possible to sell at 20? Yes. Will you still be at a gain? You said already yes. Now, this is exactly the same logic that you have to apply over here. You go to a bank and enter into a forward contract. The bank books a rate for you at 44.1, but the market rate will change in future. And the market rate will become anything in speculation. It may become 50, it may become 30. If it becomes 30, it's a loss for you. So this 44.3 is the market rate. However, at what rate did you purchase from the bank? 44.1. So this time you have a gain of how much? 0.2. Are you getting it? So bank will not at that rate. Please understand the meaning of forward contract rate is हम आज ही फ्यूचर वाला रेट डिसाइड कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हम आज ही फ्यूचर वाला रेट डिसाइड कर रहे हैं, इसको हम कहते हैं फॉरवर्ड रेट, कि आगे जाके कोई भी रेट होगा, हमारा डील हुआ है, हमारा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ है, हम आपके साथ डील कितने में करेंगे 44.1, फिर आप उसको सेल करते हो, आप उसको यूज करते हो, आप हेजिंग करते हो, उससे बैंक को कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। आपके साथ डील हुआ था 44.1, हम आपको 44.1 में डॉलर दे देंगे, उसके बाद आपको जो करना है आप करना। So in this case, typically, this person will go to the bank, buy at 44.1, and he will sell outside at the market rate of 44.3. Are you getting it? Is this completely clear to you? Yes or no? So Sprua, quickly on the chat box. Is this clear to you? No, you're not compelled to sell it to the bank. So the question is that, are we compelled to sell this to the bank? You're not compelled. You can sell it to even any dealer. So say for example, you go to a foreign trip. When you come back from the foreign trip, please understand, when you come back from the foreign trip at Mumbai, you at Mumbai at the airport, there are exchange dealers. You can sell it to them and get your INR back. जरूरी थोड़ी जिससे खरीदा है उसी को बेचना है, या जिस डीलर से खरीदा उसी डीलर से बेचना है। आपने अपना फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रेट जिस बैंक से फिक्स किया आप उससे खरीदेंगे, लेकिन यू कैन इजीली सेल टू एनी फॉरेन एक्सचेंज ऑथोराइज्ड डीलर, एंड दैट पर्सन will buy it from you at the market rate. Right, so I hope, Sprua, this is clear to you. Okay, in the meantime, I have one more doubt which says, uh, won't be profit be provided as per accrual? Why have we have not done it? So okay, so Mukadisha, just to explain to your doubt, this concept tells you that you are entering into a speculation transaction. आप कोई एसेट नहीं खरीद रहे हैं, ये स्पेक्यूलेशन है। स्पेक्यूलेशन ट्रांजैक्शन चेंज होते रहता है। दूसरी मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूँ, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन टू यू। You have to understand that you purchase something at 44.1, right? So remember, you purchase something at 44.10. It is not sure that what is the date when you will sell. क्या आपको पता है आप कब बेचोगे? मान लो आपने आज एक शेयर खरीदा, यू परचेज अ शेयर एट 30 रुपीज। आई आस्क यू कि मुकेश आप कब बेचेंगे? आप बोलोगे सर जब भी इसका पीक रेट मुझे मिलेगा, जब भी सबसे हाईएस्ट रेट मिलेगा, हम तब इसको बेचेंगे, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट यू विल टेल मी, that whenever we will get the peak rate, that is the time we will sell this. So you also do not know when are you going to sell it. हो सकता है आज आपने सुबह को 30 रुपीज में खरीदा, शाम को इसका 90 रुपीज हो गया, तो क्योंकि शाम को इसका 90 रुपीज हो गया, आप शाम को ही बेच दोगे, which means in a speculation transaction you are really not sure when you are going to sell it. Because you are not sure when you are going to sell it, it makes no sense to take it on accrual concept, because no one knows when you are going to sell it. In this question, if you have sold it in April, on 31st March, you do not know what is the rate at which you are going to sell it. So that is why accounting standard 11 tells you to avoid the accrual concept in case of a speculation transaction. However, if you look at the hedging transaction, over there you are sure कि 3 महीने का उधार मिला है हमको, क्योंकि 3 महीने का क्रेडिट मिला है, it is sure that after 3 months you have to pay. So it is sure that you are going to look at the forward contract rate or the market rate at the end of the 3 months, because you're going to look at the end of the 3 months, some time period is fixed and there is certainty. That is why we tend to follow the accrual concept, right? I hope, Mukadisha, that clears your doubt completely. Okay, perfect. Let's go to another doubt which says, to whom we sold the contract, bank or some other party? So Raj, you can sell it to the bank, you can even sell it to the other party, you can sell it to anyone you want. That person has to be an authorized dealer, so you can sell it to anyone that you want, right? I hope, Raj, that solves your doubt. Okay, perfect. After that, I had one more doubt, I remember. Which says, इसमें बैंक को क्या प्रॉफिट होगा? Okay, so please understand, Zaid, whenever bank enters into a forward contract to you, bank charges premium, and premium is the income of the bank. So bank earns premium by giving dollars at that particular rate. Now what bank will also do is bank will keep some stock of foreign currency, and bank knows कि हमने ये कितने रेट पे खरीदा है. बैंक हमेशा उससे ज्यादा का ही फॉरवर्ड रेट देगा. Are you getting it? I'll give you the most practical example that is happening right now. Zaid and everyone, please understand. These days, the one thing that is in demand the most is hand sanitizers. And hand sanitizers is made from a typical chemical known as ethylene alcohol. Now, ethylene alcohol is something that we always procure from outside India, that is, we export it. Now, when you export, the rate keeps changing every day, right? So the rate keeps changing every day. Suppose Zaid, you purchase at 60 rupees and you have stock. You have stock. You purchase at what rate? 60 rupees and you have stock. Now, because you purchase at 60 rupees and you have stock, even if the rate becomes 80 rupees, you have no problem because you have stock and you have purchased it at 60. Now, Zaid, my question to you is, जो चीज आपने 60 में खरीदी है, क्या आप फॉरवर्ड में 70 में दे सकते हो? Will you give it at 70? Will it help you make some gain? Yes or no? Yes, you will still have a gain. Please understand, the market rate is 80, but still you are selling at 70. Now please understand, अगर आप 80 में बेचोगे तो आपको एक फायदा होगा, 20 रुपए आप कमाओगे. लेकिन अगर आप 70 में बेचते हो तो 70 रुपीज तो आपको मिलने ही वाले. इन एनी केस 70 रुपीज मिलेंगे, प्लस आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे प्रीमियम अर्न करोगे, वो अलग बात. Are you getting it? दूसरी बात, 80 में तो हर जगह मिल रहा है. आप अगर 70 में देके प्रीमियम लोगे, so majority of the customers will be attracted towards you and they will buy the forward contract from you. Right? So I hope you are now clear that how bank will operate in this case. Okay, perfect. After this, let's go to another doubt which says, question 6 enters in forward contract to sell at a fixed rate decided on forward contract rate. No, in question number 6, we are buying at the forward contract rate and we are selling at the market selling rate. So Akshay, the answer to your question is that you will buy at the forward contract rate and then you will sell at the market rate. I hope Akshay that solves your doubt. Okay. Mukaddisha, you have mentioned something which says, but हमने तो actually 43.9 से buy किया है. I hope that doubt is now resolved. Mukaddisha, I hope that doubt is now resolved. Okay, perfect. Then we come to two more doubts. One says, when we enter into a such contract for hedging the risk, we sell it to the bank and the bank will give USD at the fixed rate. So doesn't it mean that we have sold the contract to the bank? I don't think it means this. Please understand. Hedging is a different thing. What happens in hedging? In hedging, you will look at your position. Your position in the sense, do you have to pay or do you have to receive? Now, please understand this. It's a CA final level concept, but since you have asked this out, I will make it very easy to explain to you, and I would request everyone to please understand this. The question that you have asked is, when we enter into such contract for hedging, we will sell it to the bank and the bank will give us USD at a fixed rate. So doesn't it mean that we sold the contract to the bank? No, it does not mean so. Please understand what happens. Suppose if I purchase some asset outside India, which means I have to pay. Whenever I have to pay, I cannot pay in INR, I want USD. If I had to pay in INR, there was no problem, क्योंकि INR की वैल्यू इंडिया में चेंज नहीं होती, पर US डॉलर की वैल्यू इंडिया में चेंज होती है. So because I have to pay at USD, I have to first buy USD, and I will have to buy at the market rate, which is going to increase. So the best thing that I will do is I will go to the bank and tell them, let's enter into a forward contract, but do not sell it to me today. Sell it to me at the time when I make the payment. So what I will do is I'll go to the bank and tell them that I have to pay now. Please give it to me at the contract rate. They will give it to you at 44.1, and you will sell it at 44.1. Are you getting it? On the other hand, in a speculation transaction as well, when you strike a deal at 44.3, you will go to the bank, tell them हमारा contract 44.1 पे था, आप 44.1 वहां पे दोगे और वहां से अपना डॉलर लोगे, आप इनको यहाँ पे बेचोगे, आपको 44.3 मिलेगा, 0.2 आपका गेन होगा. Right? So I hope, Spruan, now this completely clears your doubt. Okay. So Sprua, just let me know if you're completely now clear with this. Till that, I have one last doubt, which says बैंक ऐसे ही थोड़ी किसी के साथ फॉरवर्ड एक्सचेंज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगी अगर सामने वाली पार्टी को कोई फॉरेन पेमेंट नहीं करना. दैट इज नॉट मैंडेटरी. इट्स नॉट कंपल्सरी दैट यू विल हैव टू. It is not compulsory that you have to pay. You go to an exchange dealer. You can only say that you are buying for speculation, and you will get it. So that is not a problem. Yes, you can hold foreign currency in India up to a certain limit only. You cannot hold it for a long term. So whenever you will be taught Foreign Exchange Management Act, I think it will be clear to you that time. So of course there are rules, but in case of speculation, of course you can hold it. Right. So if this is clear, let's go to question number 12. Question number 12. Come to question number 12. Mr. A bought a forward contract for 3 months of US dollars 1 lakh on 1st December at 47.1. देखो हमने क्या किया? We purchased a forward contract. We did not first buy an asset and then buy a forward contract. वो होता तो hedging होता. आपने डायरेक्ट फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खरीदा है, क्यों? स्पेक्यूलेशन के लिए. And the exchange rate was 47.02. On 31st December, when he closed his books, the rate was 47.5. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उस डेट से. On 31st January, he decided to sell at 47.1. मतलब हमने कितने में बेचा? 47.18. खरीदा कितने में था? 47.10. अब हम खरीद रहे हैं 47.1, बेच रहे हैं 47.18. So of course we have a gain of 0.08. Right, let's solve this question. Put your first statement. Question number 12, which is given to you on page number 75. As per AS1, the effect of changes in foreign exchange rates, recognition of profit or loss on the contract. You sold at 47.18 and you purchased at 47.1. Gain or loss? Of course, you have a gain of 0.08. What's your contract amount? US dollars 1 lakh. You get how much? 8,000. 8,000 will straight away go to the profit and loss account. Take this down properly if you have any doubts. Take this down properly if you have any doubts. Please let me know. Take this down properly if you have any doubts. Please ask me. Please put done if you're done with this so that we can move to the next question. If you have any doubts, please post it on the chat box. I will solve that for you. Okay, let's quickly revise whatever we have done. Before we go to the next part, let's quickly revise whatever we have done till now. Okay, we are doing AS11, the heading of which is the effect of changes in foreign exchange rates. We first understood the applicability. We have a positive list. This standard is applicable to three concepts. One is accounting for transactions in foreign currencies, translation of financial statements of foreign operations. And the third one is accounting for foreign exchange contracts, which are in the nature of forward exchange contracts. This standard does not do two things. It will never specify the currency in which the financial statement should be presented. It will never deal with cash flow statement because it is already covered by accounting standard 3. Initially, every transaction will be recorded at the spot rate. What is the meaning of spot rate? Spot rate means the rate on the date, the rate prevailing on the date of the transaction. If there are a large number of transactions, then average of the weekly rates will be used for this conversion. Transaction of foreign, then we come to the first one, transaction of foreign currency items on the reporting date. So all the monetary items will always be taken at the closing rate. If you cannot determine the closing rate, you will then select the net realizable value. All non-monetary items will be taken at the acquisition rate. What is the meaning of acquisition rate? The rate on which the asset or liability was obtained or acquired. Then we did the first concept which says monetary items other than LTFCL. मतलब आप foreign currency से दो तरीके के transaction कर सकते हो. आप purchase sale के routine transaction कर सकते हो या आप loan ले सकते हो. हम फिलहाल किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? Other than long term currency loan, मतलब routine transactions की बात कर रहे हैं. Exchange gain or loss shall be credited or debited to the profit and loss account, and that is what we have done. Whenever a value of debtor increased or reduced, we debited or credited to the profit and loss account. On the other hand, all the non-monetary items are always continued to be reported at the acquisition rate. That means there is no change, and that is why you will never have any accounting treatment for the same. Third point, special items like inventory. Special items like inventory and current investment, if it is valued at cost, there is no exchange difference. If it is valued at fair value, exchange difference will go to the profit and loss account. Now this is also an extremely simple concept. मान लीजिए आपने कोई इन्वेंट्री लिया है तो आप उसको कॉस्ट पे रिकॉर्ड करोगे. अगर उसकी वैल्यू भी कॉस्ट पे ही कर रहे हो तो कॉस्ट पे रिकॉर्ड किया, कॉस्ट पे ही वैल्यूएशन कर रहे हैं, नो एक्सचेंज डिफरेंस. लेकिन मान लीजिए अगर आप फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू पे कर रहे हो बिकॉज यू टेक इन्वेंट्री एट कॉस्ट और एनआरवी व्हिचएवर इज लोअर, in that case exchange gain or loss will go to the profit and loss. Right after that, we are yet to do monetary items in the form of LTFCL. That's an interesting concept. There is an amendment in this attempt in this concept, so we will do that later on. We have not touched upon that concept. We'll do it next time on Sunday when you have that. After that, we did translation of exchange rates in foreign operations, where we did monetary, non-monetary items. Fixed assets were always taken at the acquisition rate. All the monetary items will then be taken at the closing rate. The cash will be taken at the closing rate. Sale, purchase, and other nominal items will be taken at the average rate. Average rate is opening plus closing divided by 2. Inter-branch or divisional transfer is always taken at the actual rate. Opening stock goes at the opening rate and depreciation goes at the fixed asset rate. And finally, closing stock again goes at the closing rate. Right after this, we solved one question, which is question number 4. In question number 4, we simply followed this table, and then we got the exchange gain difference, which we'll either debit or credit to the profit and loss account. After that, we did the last concept, which is forward contract rates. So if it is for speculation purposes, you will ignore premium and discount and you will straight away record it at the market value. So this is something that we did today. If it is not for trading, it will be amortized over the life of the contract and will be transferred to the profit and loss account. Right, this is all that we have done till now. Now we are left only with one important concept, and that important concept is monetary items in the form of LTFCL. Now, before I quickly give you a review today of monetary items in the form of LTFCL, quickly everyone on the chat box, are you clear with whatever we have done till now? Are you all clear with whatever we have done till now? I hope there are no doubts. Only then we go to this technical concept. If there are any doubts, I'm more than happy to invest time in solving them. So please check for yourself. If there are any doubts, please ask me. Okay, let's come to the last concept of AS11, and please pay full attention to what I'm saying. This is an important concept. I will also explain to you the amendment. As of now, today, just understand the concept what I'm saying. It says monetary items in the form of long term foreign currency loan. मतलब आप इंडिया के बाहर से लोन लेके आए हो या इंडिया के बाहर आपने लोन दिया है, दोनों में से कोई भी एक चीज हो सकती है. You may have taken a loan or you may have given a loan, but the important point is that it is in the form of a long term loan which involves foreign currency as well. So it is monetary item in the form of long term foreign currency loan. Now, when you buy goods, it is not loan. So that is known as monetary items other than long-term foreign currency loan. But this one, because it involves a loan, it is in the form of a long-term foreign currency loan. अब इसमें दो हमारे पास अमेंडमेंट हुए. सबसे पहला इनिशियल अमेंडमेंट हम समझते हैं, which is known as the pre-amended treatment, which is known as para 46A. Very important. This is known as what? Para 46A. I'm sorry, para 46, not 46A. It is known as para 46. सबसे पुरानी ट्रीटमेंट कहाँ पे लिखी हुई थी? para 46 में. क्या लिखा था उस ट्रीटमेंट में? जो भी आपको एक्सचेंज गेन या लॉस होता है, that needs to be either debited or credited to the profit and loss account. So it needs to be debited or credited to the profit and loss account. मतलब आपने फॉरेन से लोन ली, 1 लाख रुपए की लोन ली, तब रेट था 60 रुपीज, अब रेट बढ़ गया 65 रुपीज. तो 5 रुपए पर डॉलर का जो आपको लॉस हुआ, ओवरऑल ट्रांजैक्शन पे 5 लाख लॉस हुआ, वो पहले कहाँ चले जाता था? प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट डेबिट साइड पे चले जाता था। ऑन दी अदर हैंड, मान लीजिए रेट 60 था, तब आपने लोन लिया, रीपे करते वक्त रेट हो गया 55 रुपीज, आपको 5 रुपए का फायदा हुआ। ये 5 रुपए विल देन बी क्रेडिट टू द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. दैट वाज द अर्लियर ट्रीटमेंट दैट वाज देयर इन पैरा 46. आप आज भी ये चाहो तो ये ट्रीटमेंट फॉलो कर सकते हो, क्योंकि ये ट्रीटमेंट में एडिशन हुआ है, ये ट्रीटमेंट निकली नहीं है. सो इवन टुडे इट इज अलाउड दैट यू फॉलो ऑप्शन 1. You can still continue to follow para 46. But if you understand conceptually what para 46 does, it puts a lot of burden on the profit and loss account. बहुत लंबा चौड़ा लॉस हो गया तो भी पीएनएल डेबिट होगा, बहुत अच्छा गेन हो गया तो भी पीएनएल के पे इम्पैक्ट करेगा. So a lot of burden is then put on para 46. Now when a lot of burden is put on a lot of burden is put on the PNL, a lot of people went to the accounting standard board and said that unnecessarily our PNL is getting impacted. Plus, most importantly, all the investors who want to invest and your current existing investors will also look at your PNL to make investing decisions. So it becomes very important to treat the PNL correctly. So then the accounting standard board for the first time introduced para 46A, which is known as the amended treatment. They introduced what? para 46A. Again, अगर आप फॉरेन से लोन लेते हो, रेट चेंज होता है, मतलब आपको या तो गेन होगा या तो लॉस होगा. अगर गेन होता है तो पुरानी ट्रीटमेंट में, प्री अमेंडेड ट्रीटमेंट में, पैरा 46 में आप पीएनएल में इफेक्ट देंगे. गेन होगा तो पीएनएल क्रेडिट करेंगे, लॉस होगा तो पीएनएल डेबिट करेंगे. ऑन दी अदर हैंड, अमेंडमेंट आया पैरा 46A. देखो उसमें क्या करना है. इफ योर लॉन्ग टर्म फॉरेन करेंसी लोन इज फॉर अ डेप्रिशिएबल एसेट, and if your long term foreign currency loan is for other than depreciable asset, मतलब मान लीजिए आपने लोन लिया है कोई depreciable asset के लिए और आपने लोन लिया है कोई other than depreciable asset के लिए. सबसे पहले depreciable asset पे ध्यान देते हैं, समझना प्लीज. इट सेज अगर आपने कोई लोन ली है फॉरेन कंट्री से और वो लोन आपने कोई डेप्रिशिएबल असेट खरीदने के लिए ली है, उस केस में exchange gain or loss should be debited or credited to the fixed asset account. मतलब आप उसको क्या करोगे? कैपिटलाइज करोगे. मान लीजिए 5 लाख रुपए का आपको लॉस हुआ, आपको ज्यादा पे करना पड़ रहा है. क्योंकि आपको ज्यादा पे करना है, ये आपके लिए एक्सपेंस है, आपकी असेट की कॉस्ट बढ़ रही है, आप असेट की कॉस्ट में ऐड कर दोगे. एंड ट्रीटमेंट शुड बी गिवन, मतलब इसको आप पीएनएल में ट्रांसफर करोगे. कैसे? ओवर the useful life of the asset or 31st March 2020, whichever is very important earlier. You will transfer it on the basis of the useful life of the asset or 31st March 2020, whichever is earlier. Let's take one simple example. Suppose if you take a loan on 1/4/2020, let's not take 2018. The useful life is 5 years. You take a loan. Why did you take a loan? To purchase an asset. Right. Now the useful life is 5 years. My first question to everyone in the chat box is, my first question to each one of you in the chat box is, have you taken a monetary item in the form of LTF in the form of LTFCL, yes or no? On your chat box, everyone. Is this monetary item in the form of LTFCL? Yes, it is definitely in the form of LTFCL. Okay, let's take another question. What is the useful life of the asset in the question? What is the useful life of the asset in the question? 5 years? Okay. Now let's read the provision carefully once again. The provision says you will treat it or you will give the treatment over the useful life of the asset, which you all correctly mentioned is 5 years or 31st March 2020, whichever is earlier. Tell me, आपने loan कब ली है? Look at the question and tell me, when did you take the loan? When did you take the loan in the question? 1/4/2018. 1/4/2018 से 31st March 2020 में कितने साल बाकी है? 1/4/2018 से 31st March 2020 में कितने साल हमारे पास अभी भी बाकी है? 2 years. Okay, so I will take it this way. Useful life 5 years up to 31st March 2020. How many years? 2 years. Tell me, the provision says whichever is earlier. Now put on the chat box, what will you take? 2 years or 5 years? You have to take whichever is earlier. So you will take how much? 2 years. Which means if your loss on the transaction is 50,000, suppose if your loss on the transaction is 50,000, we will transfer 50,000 to the profit and loss account in how many years? 2 years. Are you getting it? Now please understand what I'm saying. प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन इस कंसेप्ट को समझने के लिए हमारे पास बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं और हर एक क्वेश्चन हम सॉल्व करेंगे. माय क्वेश्चन राइट नाउ टू यू इज, आर यू क्लियर विद व्हाट इज रिटन इन दिस टेक्स्ट, इन दिस प्रोविजन? आर यू क्लियर विद दैट? व्हाट इज द एग्जैक्ट वर्डिंग ऑफ द प्रोविजन? व्हाट हैव दे एक्सप्लेन्ड? कैसे अप्लाई होगा, कैसे डेप्रिशिएट करना है? एवरीथिंग आई विल एक्सप्लेन टू यू व्हेन वी डू प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस, बट इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फर्स्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोविजन ऑफ द स्टैंडर्ड. So quickly on the chat box, are you clear with this provision? Everyone on the chat box, are you clear with this provision? Okay. Now, since you're clear with this provision, what we will do is, I think this is sufficient for today. You will revise whatever we have done today. Next time I will again revise this concept with you. Then we go to other than depreciable asset, and after doing other than depreciable asset, we will then take up your doubts and go to the practical questions. Right, so you have to go back today and revise entire accounting standard 11, whatever we have done. Your next lecture is on Sunday at 8 o'clock. We will begin sharp at 8 o'clock, and then we should be in a position to understand this entire concept and do a lot of questions based on monetary items in the form of LTFCL. Fine, thank you so much for attending. I will now see you on Sunday. Do revise whatever we have done. If you have any doubts, please get back to me. Thank you.